Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together again for Dr. Pavel, please.
So, good morning to all and welcome to IDEC. Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Shri Eknath Shinde ji will join us soon. On the event of this IDEC, respected Sanjuji Jaiswal, Amit Sinha ji, Mr. Satish Kumar, Shri Hafiz Contractor ji, Mr. Deven Moza ji, all eminent panelists, distinguished guests, respected architects, planners, developers, designers, industry leaders, and the members of the media, and Shri Dhaval Thakur and his team. It is truly a pleasure to be here today at the inauguration of IDEC Expo. This year's edition is especially significant as IDEC is being organized in association with the Department of Housing, Government of Maharashtra and MADA in the housing partner of this event. This platform brings together policy, design, technology, and the development with a shared purpose to improve the quality of life for the people of Maharashtra. When we speak about the housing, we are speaking about the hope, security, and the opportunity. Maharashtra today stands at the forefront of India's urban transformation. Our state continues to attract investment, talent, and the innovation. With this growth comes a responsibility, the responsibility to build the cities that are inclusive, sustainable, and future ready. Under the leadership of our Chief Minister, Shri Devendraji Fadnavis, the government of Maharashtra has a very clear focus on housing, redevelopment, and urban infrastructure. Under the guidance of our Housing Minister, Shri Eknath Shinde Sahib, the Housing Department, through our very prominent agencies such as MADA, SRA, or MMRDA, and other development bodies, is working tirelessly to ensure that every citizen has access to safe, affordable, and dignified housing. Large-scale redevelopment initiatives across the Mumbai and other cities are redefining urban living. The landmark BDD Chawl redevelopment project in Worli is one of such an example, where we saw the thousands of family transit into modern homes with better infrastructure, improved amenities, and enhanced community spaces. Today we also have with us some very distinguished speakers who will share their insights on policy, urban development, and sustainable growth. So as you may aware, apart from the housing department, I also hold the portfolio of home rural school education, and I would like to take opportunity to briefly highlight a few important initiatives of the government of Maharashtra in this sector also. Under the home department, the Police Housing and Welfare Corporation has been doing remarkable work in designing, constructing state-of-the-art housing infrastructure for the police, home guards, and prison department across the Maharashtra. Importantly, the department is also addressing a critical challenge related to prison infrastructure in urban areas. Extensive research in the being undertaken to explore innovative solutions such as multi-story vertical prisons and modern training centers for prison staff. For this purpose, the Honorable Chief Minister has directed us to study the global models in the countries such as United States, Philippines, Singapore, and other, so that Maharashtra can adopt the best international practices. In coming years, you will witness the transformation in this field also. Further, the Honorable Chief Minister has a vision providing residences for more than 40,000 police personnel over time to improve the living standards and the efficiency of our police force and their families. As a part of this initiative, the government has launched the Mumbai Police Housing Township project with the MSIDC appointed as a nodal agency to achieve this very ambitious milestone. In the first phase, 5,000 houses will be constructed across 75 land parcels in Mumbai. Talking about school education department, the Maharashtra has around 65,000 government schools in the state, and the central government are continuously working to provide a high quality education and global learning opportunity to the student in these schools. In this addition, under the CM Shri school project, the department has already identified near about 5,000 schools that will modernize with the state-of-the-art infrastructure and improved learning environment for our students. At the same time, We are encouraging the adoption of modern construction technologies, sustainable material, green building practices that will make our cities more resilient and environmentally responsible for the future. However, the government initiatives alone cannot shape the cities for tomorrow. The future of our built environment will depend on the collective strength of architects, engineers, developers, and the innovators working together. This is why the platform like IDAC Expo are important. Through this partnership between IDAC, the Department of Housing, MADA, we hope to encourage meaningful conversations and collaboration that will create an impact lives of people across the Maharashtra. Our vision is clear: to build the cities that are modern, efficient, sustainable, and designed around the people's need. Before I conclude, I would like to once again congratulate IDAC team, Department of Housing, especially MADA, and all exhibitors and participants who have made their events possible. I wish all of you a productive, inspiring, and impactful event. Thank you very much and all the best. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Boyer, for those insightful words and for sharing your perspective on the future of housing and urban development. I now request Mr. Vivek Bole and Mr. Siddharth Saraf to please felicitate Dr. Boyer. Can we have you on stage, please? Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big round of applause for Dr. Boyer? Thank you. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for the panel discussion. Our first session today is titled People-Centric Policy Framework for Mumbai Sustainable Growth. I would first like to call on stage our absolutely wonderful moderator for this session, Mr. Deben Moza, the Senior Executive Director, Head of Project Management Services at Knight Frank India, who will be moderating this panel discussion. Welcome, sir. Please. Next, I would like to call on stage Shri Sanjeev Jaiswal, IAS Vice President and Chief Executive Officer, Maharashtra Housing and Area Development Authority, MADA. With a career spanning over almost 3 decades, Mr. Sanjeev Jaiswal, currently the Vice President and Chief Executive Officer of the Maharashtra Housing and Area Development Authority, MADA, represents effective governance and innovative leadership, and is team member of the 1996 Indian Administrative Service IAS batch. Mr. Jaiswal has dedicated his career to enhancing public administration through a blend of strategic foresight, ethical governance, and a deep commitment to public service. Welcome, Shri Sanjeev Jaiswal ji. Next, I would like to call on stage Mr. Satish Kumar, CEO, Mumbai First. Can we have you on stage, please? Welcome, sir. Next, we would like to call on stage Mr. Amit Kumar Sinha, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Mahindra Life Spaces. Welcome, sir. And now I would like to call on stage Architect Hafiz Contractor, Principal Architect Hafiz Contractor. Welcome, sir. Have a wonderful panel discussion.
A lot of papers too. I'll come. Once I do the introduction, I'll come. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege to welcome you to this important session on people-centric policy framework for Mumbai's sustainable growth. The presence of our distinguished dignitary, Dr. Pankaj Boyer, Honorable Minister of State for Housing. His leadership is instrumental in steering the policies and reforms that are shaping the future of urban development and housing across the state. Mumbai today stands at a pivotal moment. The city is undergoing one of the most significant urban transformations in its history. From the underground Metro Line 3, expected to serve nearly 1.6 million passengers daily, to the coastal road project designed to ease congestion and improve connectivity across the city. At the same time, the city faces equally significant challenges: housing demand, redevelopment of aging infrastructure, and improving quality of life in a city where nearly half the population resides in informal settlements. This makes one principle absolutely critical: development must remain people-centric. Urban growth must go beyond infrastructure to include clean air, infrastructure, healthy buildings, inclusive housing, and ensuring every citizen benefits from Mumbai's progress. To explore these issues, we're joined by an exceptional panel of leaders shaping the city's future. Shri Sanjeev Jaiswal, Vice President and CEO of Mahara, driving a large-scale housing delivery and redevelopment. Shri Satish Kumar, CEO of Mumbai First, promoting collaborative public-private solutions for infrastructure. Shri Amit Sinha, MD and CEO of Mahindra Life Spaces, championing sustainable and wellness-focused development. And finally, Shri Hafiz Contractor, Principal Architect, Hafiz Contractor, whose designs have shaped much of Mumbai's skyline. Together they bring perspective from policy, planning, infrastructure, architecture and private development. I look forward to a stimulating conversation on how Mumbai can evolve into a more sustainable, inclusive and globally competitive city built around well-being of its people. So let's begin this discussion. I'll start with Shri Sanjeev Jaiswal ji. With nearly 3 decades in public service, you have held several key leadership posts like Municipal Commissioner of Thane and Nagpur, Additional Municipal Commissioner of BMC, where you played a critical role in leading city's COVID containment strategy, including the widely recognized Dharavi response. At Mahara, you have been spearheading several transformative initiatives, from digitization of 15 crore housing records to launching MMR Growth Hub to enable the development of nearly 8 lakh homes by 2030. You also have been driving large-scale cluster development projects, including the landmark redevelopment of BDD Chawls in Worli, Naigaon and Kamatipura, which could redefine housing and urban renewal in Mumbai. My question to you, sir: as Mumbai continues to grow and densify, how can housing policy and redevelopment models ensure that growth remains inclusive, sustainable, and truly people-centric for the city residents?
Thank you, Devin. And at the outset, I would like to welcome our Honorable Minister of State, Shri Pankaj Boyer, who is here for the session. Our Honorable Minister, Shri Eknath Shinde ji, will be joining soon. So that was a part of the formality that I had to extend before I say something.
Sure.
Coming back to the question that you raised, you see, the new housing policy of Maharashtra 2025 has made a very paradigm shift as far as the approach to housing is concerned. The erstwhile policy was almost 20 years old, and after a lot of deliberations with the various stakeholders, the state government tried to broaden the ambit by focusing primarily on 5 segments. So the first segment was affordable housing, which typically MADA has been doing over the years, and even agencies like SRA, though they are primarily into slum rehabilitation, or even SITCO, MMRDA, they are the main housing stock creators apart from the local bodies. So as I said, affordable housing was one of the first component which has been focused in this. The second important element which has been missing over the years, and I'm sorry to say this, that for some reason, maybe I don't know why, it was never thought upon, and that is regarding the rental housing. If you ask me honestly, today the need of Mumbai, apart from affordable and high segment, or what we say the premium housing area, the primary need is of rental housing, because people who come here are primarily coming for 2 years, 3 years for a job, or even for a shorter stint. So that has been one of the focus area of the new housing policy, for which MADA has been made the nodal agency. Thirdly, segments like working women hostel, or old age home, or students hostel, and lastly, industrial workers housing. So these are the 5 or 6 main elements which have been incorporated primarily to ensure the inclusivity, the sustainability, affordability, and most important, the improvement in the quality of life, which we corroborate with the happiness index.
Right.
As a part of people who are going into redevelopment, and obviously in all this, MADA has a very major role to play.
Sir, you spoke about the housing for rental housing. You spoke about creating housing for industrial workers and working women hostel, or those kind of things. Mumbai is undergoing a transformation right now in terms of redevelopment. We were having a discussion, close to 150,000 societies need to be redeveloped. So there's a lot of stress in terms of whether the society should reach out to a developer or to MADA. So how are you managing this partnership with the developers in creating affordable housing in city like Mumbai?
So let me start with one of the biggest challenges as when it comes to housing, and especially when we say about redevelopment or ensuring low cost housing to the people who can't afford higher segments. So the first thing in Mumbai is that Mumbai being landlocked, land availability is the biggest challenge. The second challenge is the high affordability index which we have in Mumbai, which is almost near 50.
Right.
So that means that anyone who takes a housing loan, they have to pay almost 50% of the income as EMI, which is obviously not advisable and not doable either. The third is that if at all we are talking about Mumbai especially, and even the MMR, then redevelopment is the most priority area, for the simple reason that if land were to be made available, it could only come through the 114 layouts that MADA has in the suburbs and the CES buildings which we have in the city. Now, in light of this, there has been 2 major change in the whole approach, and I would like to acknowledge the role of our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji, publicly, that he has envisaged 3 elements. A is that if at all we were to increase the expanse of Mumbai, I use the word increase the expanse of Mumbai, then connectivity is a very important factor. So if you see in the last few years, whether it is the coastal road, whether it is Atal Setu, whether it is the Samruddhi Mahamarg, which is from Nagpur to Mumbai, or you see almost the 300 kilometers of the metro network that is being laid across Mumbai and the MMR region. Or if you see the new airport which has come at Navi Mumbai, the Vadhavan port which is planned, which is going to be one of the biggest port in the country, comparable to the almost the biggest element ports across the world. And not only that, the coastal road is also now being extended beyond Bandra. It will go till Goregaon, and then further on it will go to Vasai, and then later on it is planned to go till Vadhavan. Now why I am saying all this is that if you see the travel time has come down. Right. So today the desire of having a house in Mumbai proper, either the city or the suburbs, which maybe would not be giving that infrastructure which is needed in terms of amenities, is very much possible if one moves out of Mumbai and goes towards Panvel or goes towards Navi Mumbai or goes towards Thane or anywhere else. So this is one important change. Second is that till now, if we talk about redevelopment, the focus was primarily on individual redevelopment. When I say individual redevelopment, it means one building, two buildings coming together and going in for redevelopment. Definitely, the people residing here were getting better houses. But in terms of the infrastructure of the project, it was not advisable. So I'm sorry if I use this word, but then it was more of a creation of a vertical slum, provided I'm not quoted, though I'll be quoted tomorrow. So what Sir has done, and even our Honorable Minister, both our Deputy CM and our Minister of State, the new focus is on cluster redevelopment. So when I say cluster, it means taking the whole layout, barring those part of the layout which already has been developed or where the development plans have been approved. So if I just give you one figure, that in the last 1 year, in Mumbai alone, either approved by the cabinet or the developer has been appointed through CND, which is a construction and development model, or in tender process, what will be the reasons? More than 800 to 1,000 acres of land in Mumbai proper is opening up for redevelopment on a cluster model. And trust me when I say this, like every layout is expanding almost to 40 acres, 60, 100, 140. To give you some example, Motilal Nagar is 140 acres. GTB Nagar, which is in Sion, which was literally people had given up the hopes, the war refugees, that is going into redevelopment. Kamatipura, we're going to change the name of it, but assembly is going on, so I don't want to say anything beyond that. Kamatipura, which was always, it was a question that could it be redeveloped. I'm really happy to say that Minister of State Pankaj Goyal Sahab and even our Chief Minister have taken so much effort. So now Kamatipura has been tendered, Abhyuday Nagar has been awarded, Bandra Reclamation, Adarsh Nagar is in the pipeline, SVP Nagar is in the pipeline, Aram Nagar has been awarded, and we are now also trying to work on certain clusters which maybe is not economically very viable, like Charkop, Gorai and so on. In short, communication in terms of connectivity to shift in the focus from individual redevelopment to cluster redevelopment. And thirdly, which I don't want to miss out, is as regards the CES buildings, which is in the city proper. The government has come up with a very revolutionary amendment in the form of 79A and 91A. I don't want to delve more into that. Unfortunately, in one of the matter, the Honorable High Court has made some observation regarding the competent authority, which we have challenged in the Supreme Court. But it is a game changer because for the first time, the monopoly of the landowner, I repeat, the monopoly of the landowner or the developer appointed by them, I wouldn't say the effort has been made to end it, but for the first time, the opportunity to go in for redevelopment, if the landowner doesn't come forth with the 51% consent, has gone to the tenants or the people residing in that building. Okay. So this is I would say something which is going to be a game changer. And trust me when I say this, that with the target of 3 million houses as a part of the growth hub, out of which 2.2 million is going to be through slum redevelopment, 0.8 million houses is what MHADA has committed to, have it in the stock in the coming 5 to 6 years, either directly or indirectly. And, obviously there are other panelists, so I'll just end up on one thing, that in the whole process of this cluster, apart from the premiums and the revenues that we get, MHADA itself is going to get more than 10 lakh square meter of built up houses, which if I convert to a 500 square feet apartment, it comes to more than 20,000 apartments, which will be opened up on the ready reckoner rates for the common public in Mumbai. And lastly, BDD Chawl, where we are rehabilitating 17,000 plus people in the 3 sites. In fact, Monday, Honorable CM and other dignitaries are handing over the keys at Naigaon, almost 800 plus, and Worli we have already handed over the keys, the first phase. So overall, I see a very good growth, and I would just take this forum and as an opportunity to say to everyone, in spite of the war at Iran, in spite of the uncertainty about the dollar, in spite of the surging price of crude oil, and the various, whatever is going on at the international level, Mumbai is giving you a lot of opportunities. Mumbai and MMR is the right place to invest, to step in, and to come in for a positive approach. While doing that, please keep in mind also the poor people, the so-called people in the segment of EWS and LIG. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very insightful. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll move to our next panelist, Sri Satish Kumar. Mumbai First has been one of the city's most influential civic think tanks, bringing together leaders from business, government, and civil society to shape the conversation about Mumbai's competitiveness and long-term livability. Under your leadership, the organization has been actively engaged on critical urban issues from urban mobility and sustainability to air quality and governance forms. Mumbai First has also worked closely with institutions which include Maharashtra Pollution Control Board to strengthen environmental outcomes and support data-driven policy dialogue for the city. Your work essentially sits at the intersection of policy, industry, and civic engagement, helping ensure that Mumbai's growth is both strategic and collaborative. My question to you, sir, from the perspective of a civic think tank that works closely with both government and industry, what are the most important partnerships and policy frameworks needed to ensure that Mumbai's future growth is sustainable, competitive, and people-centric?
Thank you, Devin. Well, I would like to thank IDAC for giving this opportunity to us. Congratulations to IDAC for putting up this great show. Yeah. So, Mumbai First is a think tank, and we were inspired by London First. We are a catalyst. So what we do is we do policy advocacy, and I would like to say the best partnership of how to work in the city is through partnership, especially that question that you had asked, is on three ways I would put it. Government working with industry is one partnership. Number two, government working with communities is another way. And Mumbai First as a civic think tank working with stakeholders like academic institutions, research institutions, and to put down policy making framework and things like that. So one of the best things that I mentioned about government and industry coming together in one platform, we had this exercise done in the beginning 25 years back when we had an empowered committee where private players and senior government officials came together and set up this empowered committee for especially deciding on, speeding on policy frameworks, speeding up projects, ultimately with a goal to make Mumbai as a world-class city. So that was the prime objective, and this would be the best partnership because the government can have the vision of the private sector in line with them and develop the city. The other aspect I mentioned about the working with the communities, we also had a citizen action group where there were 30 eminent citizens and meet once in 3 months with the chief minister presiding over, listening to them, answering to the demands of the citizens in taking up issues and things like that. So that is number two. And number three is that we constantly work with stakeholders where we have address urban challenges on various issues, which is a major challenge for in the realm of climate change. The issues like air pollution, heat stress, public health infrastructure, and mobility in the city. So we address all these things as think tank. What we try to do is we bring all the the government, the industry, the stakeholders and the communities in one platform to bring together and address the issues. So this is how we do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have a follow-up question for you. How Mumbai First is structured in dealing with government, industries and stakeholders and civil bodies?
Okay. So how we are structured is we work on 3 verticals. These are one is the Mumbai Sustainability Forum, and then we have Mumbai Happenings. The third one is Mumbai Roundtable. So in the Mumbai Sustainability Forum, we have participation of private companies who are the heads of sustainability, who actually bring in ideas, deliberate, mainly work on the challenges, urban challenges, which is, again, I told you about air pollution, heat stress, mobility, and on the health. These are the major things that we face now. And we address through, and we meet once in 2 months and take it up. So with regard to Mumbai Happenings, what we do is, whatever best things happening in the city, in terms of innovation on sustainability, in terms of governance, what we try to do is we bring experts to come and talk, and we invite citizens to come and participate and deliberate. So we create awareness, whatever new things which are happening in the city. So finally, in the Mumbai Roundtable, what research that we do on all these urban challenges, we finally present a recommendation to the government of Maharashtra to present it. This is how we structure.
Thank you so much. Now, my next question is to Shri Amit Sinha. Mahindra Life Spaces is widely recognized as India's leading sustainable real estate developer with a strong presence across residential communities, integrated townships and industrial ecosystems. Under your leadership, the company has set a notable benchmark in sustainability, ranking first in Asia on Global Real Estate Sustainability Benchmark, public disclosure for 5 consecutive years. Great achievement. Achieving a perfect score of 100. A remarkable achievement in the global real estate sector. At the same time, through the Happiest brand, Mahindra Lifespace has also made a significant stride in affordable and mid-income housing, delivering projects across cities like Pune, Chennai, Mumbai with strong focus on sustainability, community well-being and future-ready urban design. So my question to you, sir, from a developer's perspective, how can sustainability move from being a differentiator to becoming a mainstream standard in housing and urban development across the cities like Mumbai? And how do you balance between sustainability and economics?
Thank you for having me, and it was great to hear, Minister Sir, your thoughts and my panelists. It was great to hear the vision and the changes that are coming to MMR and Maharashtra. I spent 15 years in Gurgaon, so I've seen Gurgaon, how it transformed, but the changes that are happening in MMR and in Maharashtra are once in a lifetime. It is changing the Mumbai's map on the global scale. So thanks for having me. I think to address your question, I think 2-part answer. The first part is why sustainability and how do you actually how do you make it mainstream, and the second is how do you balance the economics. So let me address them quickly. The first one is tough. We started the real estate business 30 years back, and some part was residential and some part was industrial. So we have something called Mahindra World City Chennai, Mahindra World City Jaipur. And the residential journey has been, I would say, so-so. It's not been a stupendous growth journey. To make ourselves relevant in the market, we wanted to have an identity, some differentiation. And we found that sustainability is our calling. And since 2014, we have always followed constructing green buildings. So from 2014. And then we realized that that's not enough. To be a leader, we need to think about net zero energy, net zero waste, net zero water. Each one of them becomes harder as you go up. And similarly, IGBC, the platinum rating, and many of our sites, projects are IGBC platinum, most of them are at least gold. But the journey towards that is not easy because it costs us roughly 2% more when we design a building. The design itself, and Mr. His contractor is here, you have to study a lot about the solar pattern, the seasonality,
Right.
the rain, the water. And then you know, just a simple example, if you have to put windows in a room, if you make the windows too big, light will come, but heat will also come.
That's right.
Right. So how do you actually design the building in such a way that you want more light to come, but the heat shouldn't come? And then if heat comes, the air conditioning will go up in terms of consumption and expenditure. So you have to improve the quality of the glass, which will prevent heat from coming in. So how do you balance the size, the thickness, the quality? All those things become very important. So the cost of construction goes up. But when we realized the rub-off effect on our customers, on the environment, we felt that this is worth it. And most of our customers don't necessarily pay for sustainability. But I'll tell you verbatim in Hindi, I heard a channel broker, how he was selling our apartment, Kandivali apartment, to a customer. उसने बोला, customer ने उससे पूछा कि ये net zero क्या है? तो net zero से क्या होता है? बोला आप वो सब छोड़ दीजिए, जब आप walk करेंगे ना प्रोजेक्ट में, तो सब green दिखेगा और हवा शुद्ध हो जाएगी. So you will breathe fresh air and everything will be green. So that is how the broker explained net zero benefit to some of our customers. Fortunately, the customer bought the apartment, and many such customers exist. But the question is, how do you actually improve the sustainability index of each of the society? Energy is very different.
Right.
Waste is a big issue in this city, any city, right? And then water is not easy to solve, right? So we all have to make investment in a small way so that we can have customers who will get the benefits of these elements over the life cycle of the project. So which we are making a significant effort, and we have found many learning which we are sharing with the community so that they can actually implement in their. Coming to your second part of the question, it's tough. The economics are very tough to work, but we think that when you have the rub-off effect on the brand, I think it justifies. So.
Thank you. And I have a follow-up question for you. You recently announced an equity partnership with Mitsui Fudosan, Japan's largest developer. What are the learnings for design, sustainability and economics through the players like Mitsui and other global developers?
No, I'll tell you a small thing. I've been fascinated by Tokyo, and fortunately this partnership happened. You may know this, Tokyo, we always have the GDP ranking by country. But the city which has the largest GDP is not New York, it's Tokyo. Tokyo alone has a GDP of 2.5 trillion. Country is roughly 5 trillion. 50% is from one city. While Japan's GDP has been flat practically for last 20 years, Tokyo has maintained the largest GDP city for the last 20 years. And why is that? And that's because of the point you mentioned, sir, about the urban development, the housing. They have 990 metro stations, train stations within that city. So people can work in the city, they can live away from the city 1 hour, maximum 70-80 minutes. The quality of life and the quality of work, both are well balanced. So we've been fascinated, and we were looking to grow the firm, and we said, who is the right partner for us who understands sustainability, who understands inclusivity, who understands the design requirements of an emerging country, right? And we found Japanese players, and this Mitsui is the largest one, and we didn't partner with a private equity fund because they have a desire to exit after 5, 7, 8 years. We wanted a strategic partner who can stay with us for a much longer period. The ethos of how Tokyo or Osaka or many of these cities have developed has a very strong handprint of companies like Mitsui Fudosan. So it's not an equity alone partnership, it's a partnership of mind. It's a partnership for the development of city, for the development of country in some shape and form. We not only get the funds for a long term, but we get the design learning, the sustainability learning, the construction learning. And you've seen some of the Japanese any product that you see in Japan, either it's used in electronics or cars or housing, it's a very different. And we are learning quite a lot from them, and our hope is that this equity partnership grows for multiple projects. So it's a sizable news for us, and hopefully we'll grow this.
Thank you so much. Now, finally moving to Mr. Hafiz Contractor. Your career spanning several decades. You said you started working since 1969. And you're widely regarded as India's most prolific architect, and your work has played a major role in shaping the residential and commercial skyline of not only Mumbai but a lot of cities in India. Your portfolio spans an extraordinary range of projects from large-scale housing developments and hospitality projects to corporate campuses and mixed-use developments executed at a scale that very few architects in India have matched. Over the years, you have been also a strong and candid voice on urban planning, development regulations, and need for pragmatic building policies to address housing challenges and of rapidly growing cities. My question to you, sir, from an architect's perspective, how can design and planning regulation evolve so that the cities like Mumbai can deliver higher densities while ensuring better living conditions, open spaces, and more humane urban environment?
Good question, but it requires a much longer time to answer that.
Right.
But let's look at, all of this, if you put it together, the most important thing, Mr. Jaiswal said a lot, and I'm very happy that what the present government is doing, what the Chief Minister is doing, but her housing sector, all of them are doing great work, okay? And we're doing a lot of infrastructure, everything is going very fine. But finally, everything boils down to pricing. Pricing of a house in Mumbai.
Right.
Now, when we are talking about pricing of a house in Mumbai, there's something like construction cost, you cannot reduce it.
Right.
There's something like interest cost. Okay, that also, whatever people may say, interest cost you cannot. But there are one or two points which I suffer every day. And those are some kind of organization, I would say, environmental approval. When the city says that I can do residential, there was a zoning plan, everything is there. If there is an industry in the city, now there are very few, okay?
Right.
And I want to put up a housing project, I have to go to the environment approval. And most of the time, the environment committee is not there. 6, 8, 10 months we have to wait. Why you have to take an environmental approval when the municipality has said that I can do housing? Yes, if I'm taking a plot somewhere on the hills or somewhere, and I'm doing some big development, yes, I have to go to the environmental approval.
Right.
These kind of approvals, you should get rid of. Which is not necessary. It's just an unnecessary burden. And each and every architect, how many architects are here? They must have got environmental approvals. Okay? And what do you finally get after 6 months or 7 months? Or that is also if you are lucky.
Yeah.
Sometimes, the environmental committee is not there. Bol? Okay? Yeah. And you will make sewage treatment plant, you will this. Arey Baba, you please print it and give it that whenever you do this, okay, it's there. Cost is the most important element for anybody to buy a flat. Yes, MHADA is doing approvals, other approvals. Now, I should not say Why MHADA has been given the approval authority? Because it's faster. I'm telling you, you don't do like this. Don't get away, sir. It's faster. Okay? So other things I would not like. Another thing. Now, whenever we are talking about large developments, cluster developments, everything, finally it boils down to how much of greenery you're going to have, how much of open space you're going to have. Again, high-rise approval, high-rise building. A lot of buildings and a lot of things, we have to change. And we have to say, the builder will say, iske upar nahi janega, iske upar nahi. He's not concerned. Everybody uses his words sustainable, sustainable, sustainable. According to me, I don't know half of them. Do you understand also what sustainable is? If there is a tree to be cut, it's most sustainable. झाड़ काट दो ना, अपन 10 ज़्यादा लगाएगा. The 10 ज़्यादा लगाएगा, उसमें एक भी, Now the main thing is another high-rise approval. Why? You mean to say the engineers don't know what they are doing? Now these kind of approvals, finally it goes time is money, okay? And other thing, that it improves our layout, it improves our greenery, it improves all of that. Another thing which a lot of you may not like it, all coastal cities all over the world, they believe and they have done reclamation. Some reclamation was going on in 68 and 70s. And because of certain things, certain people took objection and it was stopped. Why are we not considering reclamation? You could create more greenery. You could create so many things. When Coastal Road was getting a plan, we had the plans of making 500 meters of green space. Everybody started saying, no reclamation, no reclamation. Why? Think of, you love Singapore, you love Tokyo, you love New York. Every coastal city has reclaimed thousands of acres and created new districts, new greenery, new parks. Why are we not doing it? Laws make a lot of difference. We as architects are just small pawns. Bureaucrats are the real architects, the real planners. Ministers are the real creators. They change the law, everything changes and we fall in line. So please consider this. Environmental approval. Get the city. If the zoning is there, I can do development. I should not be allowed to go to environmental approval and waste months and months and months. High-rise approval. And think about reclamation. Each and every coastal city of the world, each and every coastal city, we are the only great guys in the world who believe in no reclamation. Completely foolish. Thank you very much.
You wanted to...
I think I have to react to Hafiz Bhai. Amazing analysis and amazing thoughts expressed. At the outset, let me say to you, I agree with you. With the assembly going on right now, and if I say this, that I agree with you, there is going to be a sort of a, what they say, hakkabhu.
Sir, if...
But let me just complete. You see, if you ask me as Sanjeev Jaiswal, who's put in 30 years in these services, I've been very lucky. I've worked primarily in cities as in the capacity of municipal commissioner, I've been collector, divisional commissioner. 3 points that you mentioned. I don't want to go into the merits of it. So first thing which I will come to is that you are right. If the construction or whatever we are doing has to be sustainable, then obviously there are, how fast the approvals come is an equally important factor for the costing in terms of the interest. I myself told you that, not you, sorry, I myself told here that the affordability index of Mumbai is very high. Now to bring down the affordability index of Mumbai, if you go through the suggestions that I have made in the housing policy, which is in the zone of consideration, I wouldn't say that it has been rejected or approved, there are 4-5 major elements which we have already recommended to the government. One is that, you bring down your premiums, your cost of your premiums. Secondly is the development charge and the cess that is paid along with the metro cess and so on should be reduced to at least 50% when it comes to affordable housing. Third is your stamp duty. Now, once the building receives OC, fair enough for an affordable housing, the stamp duty goes, the GST element is different. But inevitably, everyone books an apartment in the construction stage. So GST, stamp duty, premiums, development charges, cess, and so many clearance charges. You trust me, Hafiz bhai, if I say this to you, that a mere 50% reduction in this will bring down the affordability index in terms of affordable housing. I am not talking about the high premium segment, to by more than 30 to 35%. Now, what it means practically is that your affordability index comes down to around 28 or 38. B, as far as the environmental rules are concerned, well, it was at the earlier stage, it was conceived that, any development beyond 20,000 square meters